We are live. I don't know if we have anybody here yet. Just gonna check my iPad here because I get the updates on it a lot faster than the actual live stream. Turn it down. One person watching. Okay, well, welcome to everybody who is going to watch this after it's been streamed. And welcome to everybody who is here for the live stream and everybody who's going to come for the live stream. I have my good friend Trevor here with me, and we like to talk fish, aquarium fish, so that's what we're going to do. Hello, Aquaballs. How are you? So yeah, we got a few things we want to talk about today. I'm going to talk about just a bit of an update on my channel, how it's going, things that we're going to try new here, and whatnot. We're going to talk about Trevor's fish room. Trevor's got some crazy stuff going on with killifish right now. He's starting to run some, I guess you'd call them true line guppies.
Yep.
And yeah, so how's the audio and video, everybody? Are we good? Los Angeles. That must be nice. Hello, Madfish Diva. I just want someone to tell me that the audio is loud and clear. Perfect. Thank you, Aquaballs. Perfect. So yeah, so some things that are starting to make my audio and video good is I'm starting to get some updated equipment here. I've been getting off my wallet a little bit on some equipment, and I have a new camera that's not attached to the computer. I have this new microphone, this Yeti microphone, which is great. It's good enough that I can put it between us, and it should pick up both our voices enough. And if you tell me it's not loud enough, I can adjust it, and it will be. Also, I got a new computer. That's what we're live streaming off of today. I got a new all-in-one computer that's pretty high power for me. My main reason for getting it is I was using a MacBook. Don't like using laptops, period. I just hate using them, and they're not big enough, they're not powerful enough, and I want to use this for doing better videos. I want to be able to do better editing on my videos, and basically everybody I talked to said you damn near need a gamer computer to be able to handle the graphics and the memory and everything that it takes. So that's what I did. So that's about the update with this channel. The only thing I wanted to add about while I'm talking about the update of the channel, so you're going to find this extremely cool too. What I'm going to try and do with this new computer is we're recording this, and I'm keeping it recorded on the computer as well as live streaming it. And what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to call it JNA clips. And what it'll be is I'm going to try and excerpt clips from this live stream, and then I can title them, and then if people want to look back through my videos, say we're talking about killifish, bam, I'll do a video of clips from us talking about killifish today and put that into a video. So I think what happens with a lot of live streams is a lot of information gets lost in context because they're quite often so long, and sometimes we get rambling on and whatnot, like I'm doing right now, and a lot of this great information gets lost in context. So I'm hoping to be able to clip this apart and put it up for reference. And then if people have questions about whatever topic we're talking about, they can go right to it without seeing the rest of the live stream, essentially. So
perfect.
I don't know what everybody thinks about that who's watching, but I think it's a good idea, and I'm going to try it. It might take me a couple of live streams to get it figured out, but because quite frankly I'm computer illiterate. I'm not very good on computers, but I'm trying, and I guess yeah, it's gonna come. So killifish,
yeah I don't know how many of you out there are into killifish, but they're really awesome to get into. They have unfortunately they have a bad rap because they certain ones actually don't live very long at all, and it's just the way nature's got them figured out. And they live about 6 to 8 months for the ones that live the shortest amount of life, and they grow really fast.
So what ones do you have?
I have Nothobronchius recolvi, which are an annual.
Okay.
And there's two things. They live only about 6 months, and also they live 6 months, 6 to 8 months, and they breed really quick, like within
from like
6 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
So from like egg to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow. And how fast? Like how big do they get, and how fast do they grow to that point?
I'd say about 1.75 to 2 inches max.
Okay.
Like max for this particular kind, the Nothobronchius ones. But
you're gonna have to spell that out for me later, and we'll put it in the link so people can find it.
Yeah.
So I see where this fish would probably it would only really appease hobbyists. It's a natural way it's going. It's only meant to live a year. It's meant to just breed and die, essentially, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and that has to do with their natural environment, I take it.
Yeah.
So I think where a lot of people would probably get taken away from that kind of fish is people get attached to their pets and they treat them like pets. So it'd be probably more of an experienced.
It's definitely a niche.
Yeah.
Kind of fish.
Some extremely cool colors.
Oh, amazing.
Extremely cool colors. I have seen them. So we will pop this link up, or if anybody wants to find the link and throw it up there for me, I'd appreciate it. Let's just catch up here for 1 sec, Trevor. People are saying stuff here. Aquaballs, he wants some of your eggs. Yeah. So, anyways, I'll put a link up to Trevor's Facebook at the end of it too. So that would probably be the best way you want people to get a hold of you. Yeah. If you want to get a hold of Trevor for killifish eggs, because I know he has a lot. He's going to talk more about it here in a second. Hey, Kings Aquariums, thanks for joining us. So yeah, carry on. Where do they come from?
Africa.
Yeah. So is that why they're meant to basically die every year? Because their water source
dries up, so they lay their eggs in the mud, and the eggs are like, you can pick them up, and it's like a little marble in your fingers,
like a crust or something.
No, they're pretty solid. It's pretty amazing because they have to handle being dried in the mud. Yeah. And then when the rainy season comes, they hatch out, and that's the other problem with the Nothobronchius is they do lay early because they grow so fast, which is awesome, but they have a bad habit of dying too soon. And lost my train of thought.
So they're laying eggs when basically dying after they lay eggs.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Now you would think, and I guess it doesn't matter. It's weird how nature is, because you would think if you took them out of that African environment, yes, they have the genes for it and the genetics for it, but you take them out and you put them into like a tank like back here.
I think they'd adapt.
You would think, right? You would think they would keep living like their lifespan, because the reason they die in Africa is because they run out of water. Yeah. But if you never run out of water, you think
actually, that's a really good point. Holy cow. That's cool.
So, but they don't. That they're just designed.
Yeah, they're the longest I've heard of this species living was 7 months.
Wow.
And breeding right up to the end. Like the guy said, every time he did a water change, boom, they lay eggs.
So how many eggs are we talking about each spawn? And how do they lay their eggs?
they lay their eggs. What I do is I have them in a 10-gallon tank, and I have a bare bottom tank. I just have some plants and some duckweed, and I put them in a Rubbermaid container, just a soup container, and you put peat moss. You have to boil the peat moss so it'll sink, and once you've done that and you have it set up, they just nature takes over and they know exactly what to do. They go in there and they just
put it right in the peat moss.
Yep. Because when you put it in, the peat moss is nice and level.
Yeah.
And then you look the next day and it's all stirred up all over the place. Yeah. So you know they've been in there laying eggs.
Okay, so they lay their eggs. Can you leave them in there with the parents?
No.
No, they'll eat their eggs.
Well, what you want to do is about every week to 2 weeks, I take out the peat moss, wring it out, get as much water out of it as I can, and then put it in a Ziploc bag, put the date and the species, and then put it in the cupboard. And that was the other point I was trying to make earlier is they take 6 months to hatch.
So until you have a flow of eggs going, you're going to have times you're not going to have any killifish. Yeah, pretty neat. Pretty neat that people have been able to keep them like yourself and other people. How many eggs do you think you have now?
Probably, I don't know, about 50. 50. Because they don't lay like 50 eggs at one time. They'll lay 10.
Okay, perfect. That's what I was getting at earlier. Like when you get a cluster, how many would you get? And do they just lay them all in one spot, or they spread them out through all the peat moss?
Depends on what killifish you have. I've got the mop spawners, and I have the peat spawners. So the peat moss, it's just wring it out, put it in a bag, stick it in the cupboard, and write the date that you expect it to hatch. Okay. And then with the other ones, they're mop spawners, and they're awesome. Like Aphyosemian, I believe it is. Okay. And once a week, I take out the mop, wring it out, and go through it, and you'll see these little. It's like you're collecting these little pearls. Yeah. So you just pick them up, and you can do two things. Some people will get a container with peat moss, damp peat moss, and put the eggs right on top of the peat moss, but separated. So they don't, if one goes fungus, it's not going to affect the other one. But what I've had the best luck in doing is just getting a small container and putting in some methylene blue.
Right.
Put the eggs in that. And I've had awesome success.
You have, because if you guys never caught it, the very first live stream I did with Trevor, very first time I had a guest on, with Trevor, you brought some killifish eggs, and one actually spawned on the live stream. It spawned in this little. You guys gotta watch it. Go back, find that spot. It actually hatched out on the live stream, so that was kind of cool. Cool. Sorry, I was catch up on what people are doing here. I don't. Thank you very much, Kings. I appreciate that. I'll highlight that. Do appreciate it. I don't know how to do it. I'm very good at this. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out how to highlight. There we go. I gotta do it here. Appreciate that, Kings. Hello, Cichlids 23. Hello, Naturals Aquariums. Hello, Fish Room Fever. You did win. You did win. FNS Fish Room. Hello. So you're laughing. Fish Room Fever did win my 500 sub giveaway contest.
Awesome.
And he called it before he went. He did exactly that on that. He said, I won. And he actually won. He should get his stuff about Thursday or Friday this week coming. Right on. So that was pretty neat that he called the win. So, yeah. Okay, we're all caught up here.
then the other killifish I'm really excited about is the blue galaris. They get 5 inches, and mine that I have, I got lucky and got a pair off a friend down in Hamilton, and he's grown fast. Holy cow! He's like 4 inches now.
Only make it a year or two, or are they a little longer?
2 years tops.
2 years,
but definitely longer than the other ones.
Okay.
Yeah, but bigger and really, really impressive. Yeah.
Some people could say 2 years. It's kind of a very short lifespan for a fish. But just background here. I'm going to go back a little bit here. Anybody who doesn't know, Trevor has actually worked at a pet shop that has a large fish selection in it for about 20 years now. So like he's, I guess what I'll say is he's not talking out his ass. He's been around. He's dealt with every kind of aquarium hobbyist, from college kid getting a beta fish to people like me coming in and hassling him. So he knows what he's saying. Now I'm going to say this because I know the answer already too, and I know what you're going to say before you even say it. But say some person comes in that really doesn't know. I'm not going to say doesn't know a lot about aquariums, but doesn't care a lot about aquariums. They just want an aquarium. They just want some pretty fish in it. They just want it to look nice. And other than that, they don't have a whole lot of interest in it. First I'll ask, what do you think the percentage of people coming in looking at fish in an aquarium shop that is right off the bat? Compared to people coming in that know what they want, they know how to do tank maintenance, everything.
I don't know, I'd say 25%.
So 25% either new to the hobby or just make it pretty.
Yep.
So in that 25% of people who say buy a platy, a guppy, a sword, neons,
anything,
glowfish,
angelfish,
how many of the fish in those people's care are going to make it more than 2 years?
Not a lot. I'd say 2%.
Right.
2% of people new to the hobby are so many people. What blows me away is so many people don't do any research.
No.
They come in and say, I want a goldfish and I want a bowl for the goldfish. And that's doesn't work out very well.
No.
A lot of people say, oh, I had a goldfish for a year and I just kept it in a bowl, but goldfish can live 20 years. So
yeah, he didn't do that good.
No, he didn't do very good at all.
5%. Right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, a lot of people don't do research.
And how much resistance do you get in the aquarium shop to people accepting good fish keeping advice?
I would say probably 80%.
Wow.
Yeah, 80%. And then you got the people that, no, I know what I'm doing. Just get me this. It's like, okay.
Quite often they know what they're doing too, I would think, right?
Well, there's a percentage of those people that know what they're doing, but you can read that in the conversation when it starts. You can get an idea if someone has done their research and everything, and I tell them, great, glad you are excited about the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
So many people don't do the research. This is the biggest shame. So many people don't do research. They get into the hobby, and then all their fish die because of new tank syndrome. And all of a sudden, this hobby sucks, and they're out of a lifetime of enjoyment. And it's a shame. That happens all the time. Yeah.
So I'll swing back to where this drifted off from.
Yep.
So 2 years isn't bad, what I'm saying.
No, not at all.
For a fish, a lifespan of a fish in an aquarium. Some fish, that's terrible. Like if we're talking about frontosis or something like that, you should be getting, 10, 15 years or better.
Yeah.
But
like guppies.
Yeah, even line bred guppies. Yeah. I know you're running black Moscows right now.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, very, very, very few really nice black Moscow males
come out
will make it past 2 years old.
Yeah.
Their tails get too heavy.
Yep.
They start heading near the bottom of the tank.
Yep.
If they have the big, beautiful show tail on them, They will start heading to the bottom of the tank. Then their back's going to start to arch.
Yep.
And again, line bred fish. I don't think you'll get 2 good years out of a black Moscow guppy either.
So with the killifish, a lot of people, and me included, find that any killifish can rival some of the saltwater fish colors. Just look at a Nothobronchius rakovi, and it's a stunning fish. It is absolutely incredible.
So, how many of them do you have?
I've got I got 1 male and 4 females, and I got them fairly young, and I thought there was 1 male and 4 females, but it ended up being 3 males and 1 female.
Oh,
yeah.
You getting any eggs yet? Or they?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Okay. I've got 3 bags in the cupboard.
Well, there you go. Yeah. You're just gonna have your whole apartment covered with killie eggs. Sorry, just catching up again, if I can. They got some questions for you. Hello, Vinosky Tanks. Welcome to the... All right, we'll go with King's Aquarium's question here. We'll do a little question for a bit.
Sure. Yeah.
And hey, guys, any advice on other malawi cichlids I can have with my yellow labs?
Oh, yeah.
Need to know what size tank you have first, kind of. I do... In this fish room, I still have a lot of cichlids. I don't really showcase them a whole lot anymore. I don't know. I've kind of gotten away from them a bit, I guess. I still have them. But here, I'll just go down and see if I can find, if you're giving me an answer. 240 liters. So that's a 65 gallon, I take it. So a 65 gallon with a lot of rock work, I don't know if that's a 3 foot 60 or if it's a 4 foot 60, but either way, you're going to need a lot of rock work, a lot of hides. I know I could put, and I've had them with them, my Mapenga travassis. I would keep Blano radices in there too. Those are what I have right now for Mabuna in my fish room. But yeah, there's so many, all the cobalt blues, demasonized. I would stick with Mabuna. A 65 gallon, a little bit small for perhaps some peacocks. You could get some peacocks in there, but they wouldn't be happy with the Mabuna.
A lot of rock work, and it'll keep the aggression down.
Yeah.
Give some fish somewhere to hide.
I guess either go all males or go with very uneven ratios if you're going to go males, females. If you're going to go males and females, tank like that, I would go like 1 to 5 minimum, like 1 male to 5 females minimum.
And be prepared to have a lot of babies.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot of babies. And if you are going to do that, another thing you're going to have to worry about. So I guess what I'm saying, if you're either looking to breed
or show.
If you're either breeding or showing, if you just want a tank that's going to look hot, my suggestion is go with all males, not one single female in the tank. Especially with Mabuna, unless you are experienced enough to not mix different types of Mabuna that are going to interbreed with each other and create mutts.
Exactly.
So those
are brutal.
That's kind of that's how I do it with Mabuna. I try and get a few different kinds in with, like I said, the 1 to 5 or 1 to 7 ratio that will not interbreed with each other.
Good answer.
So that's how I'd roll it. I did see someone say something about ACIs here, or is it not up on the big computer yet? Thought I'd seen it.
Natural Aquarium, asking about Clown Killis.
Oh, we got some up here.
Okay.
Ahead of that, actually. Too busy talking. But yeah, someone said ACI somewhere here, and yeah, ACI
is good.
Go in with yellow labs, great as well.
No problem there at all.
All right, let's get to the next. I hope we answered that question for you, Kings. Oh, the age-old question. The age-old question.
Yeah.
So I do that. This is what I do. So what do I think about it? To be totally honest with you, I think you're absolutely crazy if you're just wanting to do it to make money. I think you're crazy. It's not as easy as just breeding fish either. There's a business plan that has to go along with it, and you kind of need to stick and modify your business plan as aquarium trends change. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, for sure. And also with me working in a pet store, probably the biggest hurdle to overcome is we order from places like Singapore, and we get stuff dirt cheap. Like we get guppies for $1 something, and a lot of people who say breeding guppies want more than that because they're worth more than that. But we buy them in a large quantity. We get them shipped over from Singapore, and they come in, for the most part, they come in really good. Get the odd bad bag, but usually they come in really good. And that's the problem. You go to a pet store, or even a bunch of pet stores, and figure, okay, I'm going to sell to these guys, and I'm going to make some money. And you go to that guy, and it's like, oh, sorry, we only pay this much. And it's like, oh, okay. And it can burst your bubbles. So what I think is, if you can get the hobby paying for itself, buying all your food, brine, shrimp, nets, whatever bills. Yeah, water bills, hydro bills, then you're doing good.
Yeah, I basically agree with everything you say. And I think what you need to do, if you got to think about what kind of fish you like to keep, or shrimp, or whatever you're doing, because
do something you enjoy.
Yeah, if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do well at it, because you're not going to make a lot of money at it. So you better love what you're doing. If I based it out on an hourly wage of what I do in this room, like it would be insane. Yeah. I haven't even mentioned yet the side camera I have set up there. That's on my multifasciatus tank. I thought we'd show that one today in a little bit. Maybe I'll feed them and get them moving for you. But yeah, just so if you didn't want to just look at our ugly faces, I'll speak for myself. My own ugly face. People might think different about you. But so yeah, that's what I think. I think do a lot of research and do it for the love, because that's the only way you're going to be happy with yourself doing it. Lots of hellos going on. This is going back to the Mabunas. Cichlids 23. So King's aquariums and Mabunas are hit and miss with aggression. White labs look great with yellow labs. The ACIs look really nice, and the pullets aren't too bad either.
Yeah, I like pullets a lot.
Yeah, those are all very correct statements. Yep. Here's a question for you, Trevor. What's the gestation period for the eggs? I'm assuming the killifish eggs.
Yeah, so gestation for the ones that I hatch in water seems to be about 2 weeks in the water, and if you have them on peat, then it can take a little longer.
Yeah, you're saying up to like 5-6 months, right? Or are you talking from the time they're ready to go?
No, different species. Yeah, the mop spawners are 2 weeks in water, okay, and then 3 to 4 weeks on peat.
You just do it on peat.
Yeah, and then the other ones are 6 months anyway.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah. I hope that answers your question, Madfish.
Clown Killis. They don't live a long time. If you get a year out of them, you're doing good. And spawning them, actually, the best way I've found to spawn these killies, because they're nice and small, and they're really peaceful for a killie. Just have a nice planted tank and lots of spots for the babies to hide. They don't try to eat the babies at all.
Oh,
so they'll lay eggs wherever they do, and you'll have babies. Just look up at the top. Have lots of duckweed floating on top because they hide in the strands of the root system of the duckweed, which I know isn't very much, but
yeah. Well,
yeah. So
I guess one question I haven't asked you, or nobody has yet. What kind of water parameters do the killifish require? And are they all different for the different kinds?
They are different. Some need more acidic water, some neutral is fine. I'm just using tap water in Aurelia.
Oh, right. So you're like 7 pH where you are. I think you're different than my tap water.
3.
Okay, so nothing special.
Nothing special. No. And I even put a little bit of salt in the water.
Oh, yeah.
Because killies, especially the nothobronchius ones, can get velvet. So you want to keep on top of that. Just good water quality. Just throw a tablespoon of salt in a 5-gallon tank.
Alder cones.
Alder cones.
Start throwing some alder cones in.
Yeah.
That, I swear to God, it repels velvet.
Yeah, they're good. Tints the water up nice too. Looks good.
You're welcome, King's Aquarium. Yeah. Good afternoon, Turbo Fish. Sorry I'm a little slow getting down to the bottom of the page here. Dank Tanks. Yes, I know exactly what Dank Tanks is talking about. So
that's exactly what happened with us.
That's how we met. I had an abundance of fish to sell. Trevor and Mike at your work, I know he's both really well, and I've been dealing with you guys for close to 10 years ish now. Getting there, So it's a relationship. I don't go in asking the world for my fish, and you guys don't try to stomp me into the ground.
No, exactly.
We have a very fair balance, and we actually even ask each other when we're selling fish if we're both happy with the deal. And I'm not shy to say if I'm not happy with the deal, and I know the store's not shy between you and Mike to say, oh, well, no, that's not what we want. So it's as Dank Tank says one more time here, one hand washes the other. And I try and produce stuff for Critters Cove that they want, that people want. That's the other thing. If you keep trying to sell a fish store fish that nobody else around that fish store wants, they can't buy them off of you. You have to.
With them.
You kind of gotta deal with what the market wants if you're trying to sell fish. Let's see what this one is. This is a long one. Hello, Danikin's Aquatics.
Tank is 29-gallon with 20 fish in it. Also 10
liter. That's like a 2.5 gallon.
10-liter tank.
I'm trying to figure out liters. 29 liters isn't a lot.
No.
That's
60 ounce and a loads plus 2 fancy goldfish in it.
Oh, 29. Wow. Yeah, well, wow. That person's off their rocker. It's not going to be healthy for very long unless they have like a FX6 on the 6 liter.
Lots of water changes. That's for sure.
Yes, you're extremely right in telling them that that seems overstocked. I don't know what else we got. That's it for questions. We caught up.
Cool.
That's fantastic.
Cool.
So one shout out I want to do actually before we get on to another topic is there's a fish tuber, we'll call him on here, Kaler's Aquatics, and he's really good. He's like one of the most generous fish tubers on here. He's always paying into people's super chats if he likes what they're doing. Everything else, he's the first guy to help out. He usually moderates if he's on on something. So I know he's got over 1,000 subscribers now, but he doesn't have the watch time on his videos. So if you all want to show him some love, and head over to Kaler's Aquatics at some point in your day and give him some watch time so he can get the monetization going, because I guarantee he's just going to give it right back to people in it. I'm not saying he's going to. I'm not him. I've gotten to know him fairly well, and I assume that's what'll end up happening anyways. So I just wanted to get that out there. And by all means, for me too, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, please. I don't get paid to do this, but if I get enough subscribers, then at least I can go, this is what I want out of it. I'm not looking to get rich. I'm not looking to, even if you got 1,000 subscribers, you're really not making anything. But I like to go live. I like doing live streams, and I like to do live streams not in my basement. I like to go out and do cool things and do live streams out and about. I got great data on my phone. I don't care. I'll stream from auctions, everything else, and I need 1,000 subscribers to be able to do that. So that's my reasoning for wanting 1,000 subscribers. I already have the watch time. I just need the subscribers to gain that function. So by all means, hit the subscribe button.
Washes the filters out every day. Empties his tanks every day. Wow.
Honestly, I would say your friend just needs to do a lot of his own research. I guess what we talked about earlier. And if he's kept them alive this long, he must know something about what he's doing. So I don't know. It's hard to say without being there and seeing a tank to judge somebody's fish keeping habits. I really don't like to do it unless I see it. And then by all means, I'll judge someone's fish keeping habits after I've seen them. Fish room fever's back, and you're not looking to get rich. That's good, because you're not gonna with fish. Who do we got here? F&S Fish Room. Hello. Whereabouts are you in Ontario? You're in Grand Bend. Well, we're up in Aurelia, just north of Barrie. But I actually do get down your way once in a while. So that's cool to see another Aureliaite here. I figure if I win every Fish Fam giveaway and resell the items, I can retire. just maybe at the rate you're going. Jesus. Okay. Moving along. Your rainbows. Your little rainbows.
Yeah,
what kind of rainbows are they?
With them. They are red, neon blue, dwarf rainbows. Yeah.
Red, neon blue, dwarf rainbows.
Yes.
Okay. From Australia?
From Australia. They're absolutely gorgeous. From Australia down to New Guinea, I believe.
Same place as the red rainbows.
Yep. And they only get 1.5 inches at the most. And I use mops to spawn them. And every week or two, I'm going through the mops, and they have these kind of golden colored eggs, and they're just like the killie eggs. You can pick them up.
Okay.
And I hatch them out in water with
you keep talking. Blue. I'm going to show people what mops look like. I'm going to set the camera up on my mop.
Absolutely.
So everybody knows exactly what you're talking about when you say mops.
Yeah, and it's surprising such a little fish can have so many, lay so many eggs. But I have 2 males and I think 7 females. I have them in a 10-gallon tank, bare bottom. All I have is a sponge filter, no heater, and I have lots of plants, duckweed on top. You want to make it as peaceful of an environment as possible for the fish. I'm feeding live food. I feed live brine shrimp, live microworms to them every day, and I don't know what it is, but live food just triggers spawning in so many fish. So many fish.
My red rainbows, which are quite a bit different than yours. It's funny they come from the same place, but like mine are like 6 inches.
Oh yeah.
They're huge. Same thing. Feed them even but mine doesn't even have to be like live. It could be frozen live food.
Yep.
I give them frozen full brine shrimp. Bam! They start flashing. They start going right off.
Yep. Cool. Yeah. So I've got about 20 or 25 babies right now swimming around. So I'm feeding them vinegar eels. So they're chowing down on them. You got to really look. You see their little bellies got food in it. Like they're really small. Really, really small.
So like in comparison, like what I bred the barbs when I thought I bred rainbow
about
fish.
That small.
Yeah, they're tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Yeah, just a sliver. Yeah.
Now I did have some success with the I think I have it right there. I'll just show people what it is instead of trying to explain it.
Oh, first bites.
Yeah. I've had success with this right here. I don't know if everybody can see it. It's Hikari First Bites. It's powdery enough that the little guys like that seem to be able to get it. I couldn't grow anything from my barb, so I just let them eat. I actually put in some Bacter AE in my mock tank just to grow biofilm and hoping they would eat that along with all the moss and stuff I kept in there. So I guess if you get enough natural food, it helps them out too.
It does. Yeah. Yeah.
So how long do they take to?
They seem like about 7 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Even 6 to 7 days.
6 to 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gosh, it seems like I'm getting babies every day.
Now they grow up fairly quickly, though, don't they? Like considering the size they start at.
Not like the killifish.
No.
Killifish are just. They'd probably easily double the speed of these rainbows that I got. Yeah.
Wow.
I've noticed the rainbows are quite slow for a fish, but they definitely live longer than a killifish for sure. Yeah. So they don't need to get up to breeding size at such a fast rate. Otherwise, the species is just going to die out on itself.
Yeah, and generally, Australia doesn't run out of water of the areas they come from. I guess some areas in Australia would. Yeah. But, cool. Yeah. Cool fish. Yeah. And what size tank do you have them in?
They're in a 10.
In a 10 gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so all you people that are looking for micro fish, is that what the word is now for micro systems?
Yeah, nano systems.
Nano systems, yeah. Killie, we just named off a couple of great
Clown Killis are for sure good for a small tank. They like the water a bit softer. For Clown Killis, but they're cool.
So when you say softer, what do you say?
TDS.
Yeah. So how much?
If you can get it down, like my tap water is like 500 TDS, which is ridiculous. Get it down to about 100.
Okay.
And they're spawning, so they're obviously happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
What else you got going on?
I got some definitely some high-end guppies, which I'm really excited about. I've got full body. They're black Moscows, but the males are absolutely jet black from tip of the mouth all the way to the tip of the tail. Yeah, really nice. Big tails.
Yeah.
Nice delta tail, and just so black. Like they look like black velvet.
So are you going to try to get some show fish out of these guys? Is this
I'd
how
like
far
to.
you're planning on taking it? Yeah.
Pick the best out of the best and go from there.
You're in a great part of the world for doing show guppies too. I don't know how familiar a lot of you are with Ontario, Canada, but we have some of the best show guppies in the world in Ontario. Nancy Eglinton, she's chairperson or president of the Trans-Canada Guppy Association in Ontario here, and some of the people within her group of friends and fish keeping acquaintances, they've got some of the most, and that's where yours came from, did they not? Not Nancy herself, but from Southern Ontario.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So if you want good guppy genetics, start with good guppy genetics. Buy the best breeders money can buy, and expect to pay anywhere from $40 to $150 for a trio of high quality guppies.
Yep. And there's a big difference between the high end and the low end.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, huge difference.
I've been on the high end of things. Like I used to sell a lot of trios of guppies for very good money, and the reason that happens is because there are so many calls. Yeah. When you're running a purebred, line bred type of fish like that, I think the gene pool gets so thin that a lot of mutations come out of it, and you got to try to cross back in some good blood that's not going to deflate the progress you've made to try to get a perfect guppy. It's a very, very, very hard thing. And I know I'm not telling Trevor this, I'm telling you guys this. He already knows this, but it's like you need at least 6 to 9 tanks per strain of guppy to be able to actually keep a strain going and improve the strain.
Got to keep the males and females separate the second you can tell the males, because once they become males, they do what males do, and all of a sudden your females are going to start putting all the good food energy they're taking into the babies and not into themselves getting bigger. And then they can have more babies when they're bigger. I've seen 4, like no word of a lie, 4-inch females. I was blown away. I've never seen a guppy so big that they drop 80 to 100 babies. And monsters, absolute monsters.
Not only that, guppies store semen. Like the guppies, they store it. So
you get 2 or 3 batches.
Yeah, and it's not just once. Like it could take it. So I guess where I'm going with this is that you don't want your females breeding with just any male that's in the tank. Some young male this big that's just learned he has the capabilities to do it. You don't want him impregnating your females. You want to. You're obviously trying to pair these females with males where you're trying to exploit a certain characteristic, and you're not going to get that if your females are getting impregnated by these young males before they get to that point.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they're essentially ruined at that point. You're going to have up to 4 spawns that are going to have the genetics from that other male.
You want to keep them virgin as long as you can, and then even when you don't want to. Actually, there's a time where they don't get pregnant. It's hard to get them pregnant if they get too big and they're virgin females. I was told that by Doug White. He used to own Delta Guppies in Pickering, and he's not there anymore. I wish he was, but he had the best guppies I've ever seen. That was where the 4-inch female was, and so keep them virgin as long as you can. Pick your best males and cross your best males into them, and you'll have gorgeous fish.
Yep. And call out ones that
don't meet your
So that's the best way to keep a great line running. And like I said, try to introduce some new blood once in a while. Let's see what else we got here. Thanks for all the advice. I'll try to help them out. No problem, and I will check you out there, King's Aquariums. You know what? I've honestly, I don't know. I don't really see, I do see the need for it, and it does help out, but my live stream is so easygoing, I guess, that I don't have a lot of need for a mod, but if you want to be a mod, Dan, I don't care. I'm not going to do mods today because it's going too good without them, but next time I will hook you up for sure. Oh, Fish Room Fever's all over it anyways. Well, thank you very much, Natural Aquariums. I appreciate it. Needs to be done. I had hockey this morning at 9 o'clock in cold water. I had to go too. Yeah, I've been busy lately running around, kid stuff and whatnot. But I do got more stuff I want to talk about. Let's talk about those mops. Let's get back to your rainbow. So everybody sees the mops in the camera view beside us there. That's you can put a little piece of cork on them or whatever to hang them in the water, but you just put those right in your tank with your fish that you want to breed, and if they spawn in mops, there will be babies in those mops. I also put Christmas moss in as well, let them spawn in Christmas moss. So it's neat to see what comes out of that.
Big thing with mops is to make sure you get 100% acrylic. It can't be anything but acrylic, so acrylic won't leach out. The color, the dye, and also my favorite is you get the dark forest green, and you can see the egg so easy. Like if you got something like yellow or white or even beige, it's going to be a real pain. You won't see the eggs.
Yeah, but I'm getting a kick because the first time I've ever really tried using mops and whatnot, I've gotten 4 baby fish out of it, which isn't like breaking any records, and they should have hundreds of barbs if they bred. But I like I said, I left them in too long, and I think they ate all their own eggs. But it's so neat, especially on a mixed tank, just as an experiment. Throw the mops in and the moss and see.
A lot of fun.
What happens after.
A lot of fun.
That's the main reason why I'm in this hobby, because I get to play around with a little bit of science and whatnot. Speaking of, I was just looking over at my parasip Nagrinus tank. There's a baby sip in there like that big, swimming around. She released them before I had the first one. They didn't make it. The second batch, I just left them in her pouch, and I went on holidays, and I come back. I thought they were early enough that they would have still been there when I got back. No, they were gone. I figured out she swallowed them or something. And then I see a baby swimming around in there, so that's so cool. So they're a fish actually. Really, I'd like to expand my my tank of them. They're a very, very neat species, and I'll have to profile them someday. For anybody who doesn't know, Parasip nigrinus, they're a Lake Tanganyika species. They're essentially food for frontosis.
Oh yeah.
That's really what they are. So they're a very sardine-looking, much like just a Cypricromonus. But they are different. They'll go in caves. They'll stay. Normal Cypricromonus like to stay in the middle column of the water. They don't generally leave. Whereas these guys will go into rock work and whatnot, and they're a much different color. They got some really neat iridescent blues on them. I really like them. I kind of got them by accident.
Yeah. Well, they're nice fish.
And
so they're not always the cheapest fish.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
I did okay on them. I did really okay on them.
That's good.
I forget though. I paid at the auction for. And when I say this, I'm not complaining about the price at all. I bought, I believe, 6 juveniles for, I think, $60 or $70. I paid at the auction.
Pretty good.
Which, I didn't think was a bad price for them.
That's good.
So, Terry Clements breeds them in Ontario here. I should really get a hold of him and see if he'll let me do a fish room tour with him.
Yeah.
He'd be a real cool fish room tour to do. So,
right
and I am doing some more of them coming up. I'm going to do a lot more. Whenever Trevor gets his fish room in order for me to do a tour, I'm going to. And I'm going to make fun of Trevor right now because he's like, I said, Trevor, let's do a fish room tour at your place. He says, like, no, it doesn't look like yours. Well, it doesn't have to. So your tanks are more designed for breeding.
Yeah.
Your
They're
tanks
not all pretty and And
they're not gallery tanks; they're breeding tanks.
Exactly. Yeah.
The cool part is most of my subscribers would definitely know the difference,
Yeah.
and have
That's good.
Have an appreciation for the difference as well, because I try to get a little bit of both out of it, but I still have tanks that are just breeding tanks. Like I have a 90-gallon tank I use for growing out Bristlenose plecos. There's nothing in it, essentially just some wood and stuff. So it doesn't matter. People get appreciation. So
that's good.
Whenever Trevor gets over that, we'll go and see his place. I got a couple in Barrie to go do sometime soon. I'm going to keep under my hat who it is for now. And just carrying on. I did very well. Oh, I'm going to talk about we had a swap meet, which was cool. Barrie last week, our Barrie Aquarium Club. If you're from this area, that's a good resource to check out. And if you're not from this area, I'm sure you can find an aquarium club or society within driving distance of where you live, unless you're pretty remote. It's a great resource to get information from people like Trevor, who do fish that some people never even heard of before. This is where these people go and share information, and fish and eggs and whatnot. Auctions as well. So our Barrie auction, I'm trying to remember if we're still, I'm pretty sure we're still doing it at the Legion in Barrie. It is March. Oh, I better look at my calendar before I believe it's March 29th, but I'm going to double. Where are we here? March. Yes. March 29th. Barrie, Ontario, Canada is our fish auction. I'll get some information up before March 29th, but check that off on your calendar for sure. March 29th, if you're in the central southern Ontario area. It's a great show, great place. I do a lot of selling there. I do a little bit of buying. Lots of sellers come, lots of buyers come. I know we had over 2,000 products go through our auction last year alone.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's not bad for a small city, and a very small club that runs it as well. So we all do a good job of putting it together, and it runs. We have professional auctioneers, fish auctioneers that kind of do the circuit in Ontario. They come and keep things flowing good. So everybody.
And it's 7 to 9.
I believe the auction starts at 10.
Okay.
10. Oh, you're talking the meetings.
Yes, the meetings.
Okay, so the auction will start at like 10 in the morning. I believe pre-registration's like 9 or before, and it goes until it's done. Our meetings on Grove Street in Barrie are the second Tuesday of every month during the school year, because we do it at a school, and it's at, I believe, Maple Grove Public School or something. It's a public school on Grove Street. Again, I can get that information and put it in the after we stream this video. I'll put it in the comments. I'll also put Trevor's information in the comments if you want killifish eggs, or if you just got a question for Trevor. You don't mind, do you?
Not at all. Not at all.
So, what else you got going on? I've been babbling long enough.
What else? Just waiting for my 2 different kinds of killifish to finally drop some eggs. Those 5-inch killifish, the blue Galeris, they mature really late. I don't know why, because the one I got is 4 inches, and he's just shooting blanks, like, for some reason. So I got to get.
Maybe he's a dud, not a stud.
Hopefully not, but yeah. So hopefully get some eggs out of them. I got those crazy beta fish, and they're coming along. They weren't eating very much in the beginning when I first got them, but
these are different beta fish.
Oh yeah,
they're live bearing beta fish, are they not?
The male incubates the eggs in his mouth.
Mouth broad incubating fish.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, they're really cool. yeah, aside from that, the guppies and killifish, and
how are your shrimp doing?
That's about it. Shrimp are good.
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
lots of babies.
I haven't. I saw some babies, but I haven't seen some babies in the last little bit.
What kind? Just so everybody knows, what kind of shrimp do you have now?
The crystal red, SSS plus, and I have one red King Kong, and the rest are the ones I got from you.
Oh, okay.
The crystal reds, and they're the Caridina species. Still waiting. I just checked before I came here. Checked my ammonia level in that tank, and it's still not cycled.
Okay.
It's definitely been a month.
Okay, so explain to everybody what you've done.
I have Amazonia, which is a substrate product that is really, really good for keeping the Caridina species, not the Neo-Caridina. And hey,
I use it with them too.
Oh, do you? Yeah, and it's the thing is when you first put it in and you add water to it, it gives off a wicked amount of ammonia, which helps kickstart the cycle process, which is great. But it takes I'm at a month, and I just tested it just an hour ago, and it was just off the chart ammonia, just through the roof. So I'm hoping any day now it will be gone.
My bet is at least 2 more weeks. Was it dark or light?
Dark.
Maybe 3 or 4 more weeks. So I've actually timed this before, and yeah, the light that I started using actually takes
less time,
about 2 weeks, 3 weeks less than the dark.
Okay.
To go. I think the dark works better for keeping your pH low. Hello, Chattanooga Ed. Hello, Big J's fish keeping. Fish keeper. Sorry, I didn't see his pop up there. So anyways, it helps buffer your pH a little bit better. But I'm telling you, I went a full 8 weeks with my dark, with sponge filters and plants in the tanks. It's like 8 weeks.
My pH in that tank keeps going down.
It will.
I'm at 4.8.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's down a lot. You have some very active substrate.
I'm telling you.
So I'd probably do a water change as well.
Yeah.
You want to keep that pH up a little higher than that for your Caridina.
Yeah, I'm still learning off of Jesse about the Caridina. I haven't kept shrimp for very long, so you make it look easy. That's for sure.
I make it systematic. That's what I make it. I make it systematic. I do not deviate from my system with my shrimp.
No.
And that seems to be what shrimp like. I guess that's the... Everybody asks, how do you keep shrimp? How do you, just whatever you do, keep doing it. Yeah. And if that doesn't work, change, keep doing it. Yeah. If that doesn't work, change, keep doing it until you find what works. They don't like swings and parameters. They don't like changing tanks. They don't like going from 2 tanks that seemingly are identical side by each and going from that tank to that tank. They don't like change at all. So I guess my biggest advice to anybody keeping Caridina shrimp is no change. Keep everything as stable and straightforward as possible. Keep your water changes. I use RO water, and I remineralize it myself with a powder that I use, and I do it exactly the same every time. So my water chemistry literally does not bounce 10 TDS one way or the other. And that's what I found the most success with the shrimp.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, we'll do another shrimp talk another time. But my shrimp are doing well. I got, tons. That Camry you see right now, that's my newly made cherry shrimp tank. I moved my cherry shrimp because they weren't doing very well where they were into this tank, and well, you know what? We'll see how they do there.
Yeah.
In closing, I'm pretty much ready to wrap it up. I'm sure there's more live streams coming on at 4 o'clock that people are going to want to get to.
Yeah.
Oh, we got people just showing up. Hey, Alice. Good to see you there. But yeah, that's about it from me today. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
I'm pretty good. Anything new and cool in at the store? You got the glow betas in?
No.
No, you don't have the glow betas yet?
No, the coolest thing we have right now is we got a catfish in, and if you go on YouTube and look up, it's called the gulper catfish.
The gulper.
Yeah. And it is literally, I couldn't believe it. There was a fish. This fish was about this big. It ate a koi this big.
Oh, I seen that fish there.
Holy
It ate
cow.
that koi? It was
No, on the YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when I first heard about it, and we just saw it on the list last week, so we ordered it, and it came in. Yeah, it's crazy. You can't believe it.
Oh.
It fits the whole thing in, and it's just belly extends. It's just incredible. GU.
GU?
Yeah, taking that old.
Cool.
Yeah, crazy fish.
So, like, how big does it get?
Actually, I don't know. I haven't researched it enough.
Yeah,
I saw the video about a year ago, and it just came on the list the other day. Came in a little on the rough side. We've got to treat it and get it back up to snuff. But yeah, oh my gosh.
I can't wait for my Fisher Woodcats to finish growing out.
Yeah, they're cool.
I'll try to get a good video for you guys sometime. They're really hard to video though. I get such a glare off that tank. I have to shut the rest of the fish room down to actually take videos of that tank because it takes, being the bow front, it takes so much glare.
Yeah.
But when they come out, they're amazing.
Yeah,
they're amazing.
Cool.
Apparently, they're only supposed to get to about 10 inches. So hopefully, and people have bred them in captivity. So that'd be kind of neat. They're in good company in that tank. They're in with some Geophagus tapajos, an L106 orange scene, hemiancestris, my blue phantoms, hemiancestris, and that's it in that tank. Yeah.
Cool.
So they kind of run that tank. Anyways.
Yeah, so I'm good.
I think that's a wrap, bud. We got hockey again tonight. We got young fella playing hockey. They're playing like a little tournament tonight.
Oh, cool.
So we played this morning at 9, and now he plays again at 6 o'clock. So I'm going to have to get down and get supper ready soon anyways.
Right on.
So thank you, everybody, for watching. And like I said, I'm going to try to save the recording of this live stream on this new computer I got. And I'm going to try and take clips of what we've talked about and put them together for videos.
Yeah,
so we don't lose this great information you've given everybody about killifish and guppies and rainbow fish. So thanks for coming out, Trev.
All right.
Appreciate it, brother.
Anytime.
And everybody else, happy fish keeping, and we'll talk to you next time.